In the midst of a very enthralling title race that saw things go down to the final match day, even though we all unfortunately knew how things were going to turn out, there were many plot threads that we as football fans had to follow. How bad was United's season going to end? Was Arsenal going to be able to dethrone City? Were Spurs going to bottle top 4? Who was going to get relegated? But in all that excitement, we all forgot about one thing: the fact that Liverpool were supposed to be in the title race and also push for a quadruple. In the last 13 or so games of the season, Liverpool's entire season dethroned right before our eyes. And what could have been a campaign where they sent off their legendary manager in his last season with the Premier League, FA Cup, Europa League, and EFL Cup, they ended up only achieving one out of those 4 things. Honestly, a lot of people didn't really expect Liverpool to find themselves lined up in a position to win a quadruple to begin with, especially because of how bad their last campaign was. But irregardless of that, by the point that Liverpool managed to get into the position to win those 4 trophies, the predictions and everything that people had said about Liverpool to that point in time did not matter. Their only objective from there on out was to win everything and send off Klopp as a hero, to elevate the status that he had as a legendary manager even further, to feed Trent Alexander-Arnold as he had not been fed to that point, to ensure that Klopp's farewell tour could manage to be better than Ten Hag's first season at United. They did manage to pile up a nice little win streak up until the point where everything took a turn for the worse. So what exactly happened with Liverpool? Real quick, boys, if you're new to the channel and you're enjoying the video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Posting weekly video essays, so make sure you turn on that notification bell, don't miss any of the uploads. And if you're not new to the channel, boys, welcome back, glad to have you around. And of course, let me know what you guys think about Liverpool season in the comments down below. I do read all my comments, so make sure you let me know your thoughts down below. With that being said, boys, let's take a look into how Liverpool season became such a car crash. In case some of you need a refresher, one of Liverpool's biggest rivals, if not their biggest, is Man United. So when they matched up in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, it was a perfect opportunity for Liverpool to make a statement that they were here to win this cup. Unfortunately for them, they came out to play in the Minecraft creeper kit, so United made sure to turn up for this day specifically. Despite an early chance for Mo Salah that he would normally put into the back of the net, United managed to get the lead in the 10th minute after a rebound landed straight into the feet of Scott McTominay for an easy tap-in. However, if there's anything United is good at, it's being able to become the worst team in the country after taking the lead. And Liverpool knew this, so they fought hard and managed to get a goal in the back of the net, but it was flagged for offsides. However, in the 44th minute, Liverpool would finally put one past Onana with a great finish from McAllister, and then follow that up in the 47th minute with another one from Salah. Having already beaten United at Old Trafford multiple times under Klopp, this game felt like it would be an easy one to see out, and Liverpool continued to hammer attacks at United, accumulating 13 shots in this half, but not one beating Onana. In the second half, Liverpool would do the unthinkable, and honestly, I think this is probably what caused them to be cursed for the rest of the season. At the 87th minute, super sub Anthony took the ball, spun around, and on his weak foot, placed it in the bottom right corner and took the game to extra time. Where was VVD's aura when you needed it the most? Both sides exchanged one goal apiece in extra time, meaning by the 120th minute, it was 3-3 and penalties looked like the outcome. Until, from a Liverpool corner, Amad Diallo finds himself on a breakaway with Garnacho. The two make light work of Quanta, and Amad places the ball in the bottom right corner to win United the match in the 121st minute. This was the end of the road for Liverpool in the FA Cup, meaning they now only had the Premier League and the Europa League to worry about. After this embarrassing FA Cup exit, Liverpool would bounce back relatively well in the Premier League with wins over Brighton and Sheffield. Against Brighton, they would give up a cheap goal early on in the game, but managed a fairly comfortable comeback and came out as a 2-1 victors. Against Sheffield, Liverpool started off the game with possibly the most Darwin Núñez goal I have ever seen, and despite an own goal that made it 1-1, they would ultimately cruise to a 3-1 victory. After these two matches, Liverpool had the chance to exercise their FA Cup demons as they now had to play United again, this time in the league. But again, they came out in the creeper kits. When will they learn? After a dominating 20 minutes from Liverpool, they found their opener in the 23rd minute after a corner found Luis Diaz completely unmarked at the back post. Liverpool continued to beat down on United, but the creeper kit struck them down in the 50th minute, and a defensive error saw Bruno Fernandes chip the keeper from just about the halfway line. As we saw in the FA Cup, Virgil van Dijk's aura was not strong enough to stop the ball from going in the back of the net. And to make matters worse, not too long after Núñez made a display of early onset CTE, Mainu smashed the ball in the back of the net in the 66th minute, making it 2-1 for United. Fortunately for Liverpool, United now had the lead, meaning it was time for them to stop trying. Liverpool would win a penalty in the 81st minute that Mo Salah would comfortably put away, and despite some chances in stoppage time, the game would end 2-2. Having had the opportunity to go 2 points clear at the top, instead, Liverpool now found themselves in second place as they were tied on points with Arsenal but had less goal difference. To follow up this amazing bottle job, we have what is arguably one of the top 3 most embarrassing moments for Liverpool in their chase for a treble. In the quarterfinals of the Europa League, Liverpool would host Atalanta at Anfield, a game that probably anyone outside of Atalanta fans thought would be a layup for Liverpool. However, Atalanta were not planning to show up to Anfield just to get walked over. After poor finishing displays from Liverpool, Atalanta capitalized on a golden opportunity, and Scamacca slotted one home at the 38th minute. Keller for this goal was doing his best Karius impression as he let the ball essentially go straight through him. Liverpool started with a strong enough squad, but would bring on Salah, Szoboszlai, and Robertson at halftime to really push for the win. They must have thought they were Kurt Angle on a hot tag or something, but these brothers didn't do anything. Liverpool could still just not finish. In the 60th minute, Scamacca would strike again as a well-timed cross found him wide open in the box, and all he had to do was simply just tap it in. Van Dijk was too far from Scamacca for his aura to work, and to put the nail in the coffin, Pasalic would type in an easy rebound in the 83rd minute to make it 3-0. This game was shocking for Liverpool. Really an embarrassment to the club at that point. In Klopp's final opportunity to win European silverware for the club, this team went out on the pitch and delivered 90 minutes of straight ass. Poor finishing and poor defensive displays non-stop for 90 minutes. As we have seen in Europe over the years, no deficit is too large to overcome, but across the footballing landscape, this felt like it was the end of the road for Liverpool in Europe. Up next for Liverpool, they now had to host Crystal Palace at Anfield. Liverpool had history against Palace when being in title races, so for many hate watchers like myself, this game presented the opportunity for Liverpool's dreams to come crashing down even harder. Well, in the 13th minute, hate watchers would be jumping for joy as Mitchell slipped in Eze in what was a very easy cutback pass, and Crystal Palace made it 1-0 very early on, absolutely silencing the Anfield crowd. Again, Virgil van Dijk failing to activate his aura playstyle plus. At this point, Van Dijk was so auraless that he almost recreated the Gerrard slip, but was luckily bailed out by Robertson. The rest of the game saw more of the same from the recent Liverpool form. Despite attack after attack, Liverpool were just incapable of putting the ball in the back of the net. They would ultimately lose the game, and echoes of their loss to Palace in the past haunted Liverpool after this game. Klopp would also come out and openly admit that the two results against United had taken a toll on this Liverpool side. I wasn't kidding about the creeper kick curse. Liverpool at this point were continuing to bleed points at the top of the table and were losing their grip at the top. Despite being absolutely clapped in the first leg, Liverpool still had the away fixture to try and rescue their hopes. They did manage to get an early goal thanks to a penalty slotted home by Salah in the 7th minute, but they were never able to really get the type of control on the game that they needed in order to score 3 more goals. Both sides exchanged chances, and again we saw Liverpool failing to finish what was on their plates. This would officially be the end of Liverpool's Europa League run, meaning now they only had to worry about one competition to get back on track in the Premier League. Up next for Liverpool was a trip to Craven Cottage to play against Fulham. It was time for Liverpool to make up on lost ground and really try and lock in the Premier League. Despite a sloppy first half in this game where Liverpool still struggled to score goals, they would go into halftime with a 1-0 lead thanks to a moment of magic from Trent Alexander-Arnold. Or so they thought, as right before the halftime whistle, Liverpool were unable to clear the ball properly and Fulham made it 1-0. Liverpool hearts sank at this point as it really felt like this was going to be another game where Liverpool dropped some crucial points. However, Liverpool sat up, they locked in, and thanks to a wonder goal from Gravenberch and a slightly lucky finish from Jota, they were able to see this game out 3-1 and gain valuable 3 points. In order to maintain pace at the top of the table, Liverpool now had to face their neighborhood rival, Everton. Everton had been coming off winning only 2 games in their last 5 and hadn't beat Liverpool in a league game since February of 2021. Similar to the Atalanta home game, a lot of people thought this was a layup for Liverpool. And again, everyone would end up being wrong. In yet another game from Liverpool where they would have the majority of the possession, they created chance after chance and were not able to score from a total of 23 shots. All Everton had to do was capitalize on a lack of scoring from Liverpool and also the defensive mistakes that they had been piling over the last couple of games, and they could put a huge hamper to Liverpool's title hopes. Well, thankfully for Everton, failure to clear the box at the 27th minute led to a Jarrett Branthwaite goal, put Everton up 1-0, and a brilliant corner saw an unmarked Calvert-Lewin make it 2-0 to see out the game. So not only did we see more poor attacking from Liverpool, we also managed to see them shoot themselves in the foot by failing to make good choices in the back. With this result, Liverpool would fall 3 points behind first place Arsenal, and the title charge really felt like it was just running out of steam. So for Liverpool, it all came down to this game against West Ham. If they win, they managed to keep their hat in the ring and continue to fight for the title. However, dropping any points would essentially put the nail in the coffin for the rest of the season. And I want to bring up this fact one more time. Liverpool were lining up in their creeper kit for this crucial game. In the first half, Liverpool again would fail to capitalize on 11 shots that they threw at the West Ham goal. And of course, West Ham would take advantage of Liverpool's inability to score, as some poor set piece defending saw Jared Bowen put the ball in the back of the net around the 43rd minute. Looks like it's not fun to have a corner taken quickly against you, is it, Liverpool? Robertson would get one went back shortly after halftime, as soft hands from Areola was not enough to stop the strike at the top of the box. And if any of you are goalkeepers, can you please let me know what Areola was thinking here? It really looks like he's not even trying. Liverpool would then have some luck go their way, as the ball from a corner found its way bouncing off Ogbonna and then Areola to make it 1-0 for Liverpool. However, after so many inconsistent results, West Ham felt that they had the opportunity to take the game to Liverpool when the opportunity came around. And that opportunity would come in the 77th minute when Mikel Antonio absolutely dunked on Liverpool to equalize the match. Once more, Virgil van Dijk's aura would make no impacts on the Englishman. With 13 minutes to go, Liverpool were going to have to fight with everything they had in order to rescue this game. It was time to lock in. It was time to get serious. Well, they really didn't do too much. They had a well-worked corner that was essentially blocked twice, and a Mo Salah counterattack that hit the crossbar, which would prove to be their final opportunity of substance. With this draw, Liverpool would fall 5 points behind first place, which would also become 7 points when City won their game in hand, thus sealing their fate. Liverpool were no more even in the realm of challenging for the title. This season, Klopp's farewell tour had resulted in a bust. Liverpool did see out the rest of the season in good enough fashion to really secure their top 3 status. They absolutely dominated Spurs and won that game 4-2. They had a tough time against Aston Villa and gave up a 3-1 lead to make the game 3-all, and comfortably saw out a win against Wolves on the final match day of the season. Honestly, Liverpool could have done a lot more if they hadn't shot themselves in the foot. Over the last couple of years, when Liverpool were really pushing Man City to the edge, we saw a very different Liverpool to what we're seeing now. Clearly, players have come and gone, so it's not unfair to say that this team dynamic is completely different. The lockdown, precise performances that we used to see from Liverpool's back lines are no more. These last handful of games were riddled with defensive errors and just really poor decision making that led to giving away a lot of goals. And honestly, the attack wasn't that sharp either. They missed so many chances, and there was a lot of games where they easily could have just outscored the opposition even if they were defending poorly, but they just could not finish. So ultimately, they really just hampered themselves. They had more than enough of the firepower and defensive ability to take down the opponents that they had in front of them, but they just couldn't. Maybe the team just ran out of steam. Klopp is leaving Liverpool now officially, with Arne Slot taking over him, so it looks like we now have another bald manager in the league, also another bald Dutch manager coming from the Eredivisie. Let's see how this goes for Liverpool. Yet to see how Arne Slot will transition from the Eredivisie to the Premier League in comparison to Ten Hag. Hopefully it goes just about the same for Liverpool as it did for Ten Hag, or hopefully worse. But you guys can let me know what you think in the comments down below.